Net worth, one of the most important measures of your personal finances, but we still don't talk about it enough. In this video, you will learn how you can calculate your net worth, how you can easily keep track of your net worth, plus I will also provide you a free Google Sheets document that you can use to calculate and keep track of your net worth. Your net worth is the difference between what you own and what you owe. It is simple to calculate. Your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. Assets are things that you own and things that have value. Some example could be things like cash, saving accounts, bonds, property, land, stocks, cryptos, cars, retirement plans. The list is very long, but in short, if you own it and it has value now or will have in the future, it is an asset. Liabilities are the opposite. Instead of having any value, they are something that you owe and make you lose your money. These are things like mortgage, credit card debt, student debt, any other loans you might have, unpaid taxes, and so on. If you have more assets than liabilities, your net worth will be positive, and if you have more liabilities than assets, your net worth will be negative. Let's now take a look at how you can calculate your net worth. First of all, you want to list all your assets. I would recommend that you only count things that are worth over $1,000 or things that you are able to sell easily. Even though I have a toothbrush that tracks how well I brush my teeth, nobody would buy it for $300 if I tried to sell it. It also takes way too long to calculate all the items your household has, so instead of calculating every object you have in your house, calculate only the ones that are worth over $1,000 and can be sold in the future. For example, John recently bought a house that was worth $500,000. He drives a car that is worth $10,000, has invested $10,000 in cryptos, $50,000 in stocks, and $100,000 in index funds. This means that his total assets are worth $670,000. To buy the house, John had to take a mortgage, which he still has to pay off $450,000. He finished his studies a couple of years ago, but still hasn't paid off all his student debt. He still has $10,000 student debt to pay off, which means that his total liabilities are $460,000. This means that his net worth is $210,000. Great, now John knows his net worth, but it is important to also track how your net worth changes. The main goal for most of us would probably be to increase our net worth over time, which is why tracking your net worth is important. When you keep a track of your net worth, you can clearly see how it is developing, how well you are reaching your goals, or are you actually going in the wrong direction. The thing most of us probably struggle with is the feeling that our finances aren't improving at all. It feels like time is flying, yet our investments aren't increasing fast enough. You are still living in the same house, driving the same car, and investing the same amount each month in index funds. But when you calculate your net worth, you might see that it has actually increased a lot in the past couple of years. You just don't notice the growth because you aren't keeping track of it. It could also be the complete opposite. It feels like you are making huge steps forward, but in fact, your net worth is going down. You take a mortgage to buy a nicer house, then you take a car loan to buy a nicer car, and now you feel like you are progressing with your finances, but when you calculate your net worth, you might find out that it has only stayed pretty much the same, or even worse, it might have gone down in the past couple of years. Let's see how John's net worth has changed after a year has passed. He is still living in the same house, but according to sales of houses in his neighborhood, the value of the house has increased. It is now worth $510,000. John has only invested in index funds in the past year, and he now has $120,000 in index funds. His cryptos and stocks, however, have lost some value, and his car isn't that great anymore. John's total assets are now worth $672,000. John has paid off some of his mortgages, but he still has $430,000 of mortgage left. The student loan is almost paid off, only $5,000 to go. This means that total liabilities are $435,000, and John's net worth for 2023 is $237,000. As you can see, John's net worth has increased by $27,000. There are some things that I would like to highlight from this example. When you are calculating your net worth, your investments could be temporarily up or down in value. This could mean that your net worth is temporarily lower or higher than it usually is, so keep that in mind. If you calculate your net worth here instead of here, it could feel like you aren't progressing at all, but instead, it was just bad luck with timing. Another important thing this example shows is that there are two ways to increase your net worth. You can either increase your total assets or decrease your total liabilities. In this example, John invested $20,000 in index funds in 2023, but he could have also invested $0 in index funds and spent that $20,000 to pay off the mortgage. The end result would have been the same because the total liabilities would have decreased as much as the total assets now increased with the index fund investments. It is up to you which one you prefer to do. You can either invest more or pay off your debt faster. To simplify it, you might want to pay off your high interest debts before investing any money, and you might want to invest more instead of paying off your low interest debts. For more info about paying off your debt, you can check my other video after this one. One more thing that I want to point out is that it is completely normal to have a negative net worth. If you have just finished your studies with $20,000 of student debt, it doesn't really matter as long as you are able to pay all the required payments of your everyday life. So make sure that you don't focus too much on your net worth. How much money you are making and spending is as important, probably even more important. Okay, let's now move on to tracking your net worth. It is important to track your net worth, not just calculate it every now and then. This will give you a more realistic picture of your net worth because short-term price movements don't affect it in the long run. It is also important to track your net worth so you can keep up with your goals and so you can adjust your goals realistically. Tracking is also very easy to do. You can do it just once a year. Personally, I do it at the beginning of January every year. It doesn't take long at all, yet you know exactly where your finances are each year. I have made a Google Sheets document for you to easily calculate your net worth, plus you can also easily use it to track your net worth. You don't really need any Excel skills at all to use it. All you have to do is input your numbers in it and it will automatically calculate your net worth and throw a graph down here. You can find it for free in the description. There is no need for any emails or anything. If you want to use it in Excel instead of Sheets, simply click File, Download and choose Microsoft Excel. If you want to use Google Sheets, select File, make a copy, name it and press OK. There are instructions in the Sheets file just in case, but it is very easy to use. I have listed some assets already here and you can rename all of the cells if you have other assets too. Then just enter the values here and it will calculate the total assets. Same with liabilities, you can rename the cells, enter the values and it will calculate total liabilities. Once you have entered all of these values, it will calculate your net worth here and automatically put the value in the progression graph below it. Just make sure that you don't change the values in any of the colored cells because they include some formulas that are used to calculate things. If you found this video and tool helpful, make sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button for weekly personal finance videos. To find out how you can pay off your debt, check the video on the right side of the screen. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon, bye!